Celebration and ceremony. If I can get everybody to please face the flag, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Hornell Choir will now sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rough stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. Next, we'll have Kim Wood from the Hornell VFW be doing the opening prayer.
Uncover a prayer for all veterans. Oh God, great and almighty Creator, we thank you and praise you for the freedom we enjoy in our country and pray that our liberties will continue to be protected. Thank you for America's heroes. They have fought for our freedoms and who have faithfully served our country. We honor all of our veterans for their sacrifices and for their courage and integrity. As we celebrate these freedoms, we ask your blessings on those veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice while defending our country. Bless their families and comfort them with the thankful prayers of a grateful nation. We thank you for our veterans past and present. Through the effort of those individuals, help us continue to promote justice in our nation. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody. Today's a day of celebration and recognition, but in some ways it is a solemn one. Originally observed as Amnesty Day, the 11th day of the 11th month marked the anniversary of the end of World War I and honored its fallen. As our country and much of the world mourned, there remained a desperate grim of hope that the Great War could indeed be the war to end all wars. Of course, we know that it wasn't. World War I followed less than 2 decades later. Then the Korean War, Vietnam War, and the Gulf War. And it was only 2 years later that we ended America's longest war, the war in Afghanistan. As war and conflict continued, so too did the courage and sacrifice of the American men and women who defended our nation and its interests. Many paid the ultimate sacrifice. In 1954, as a result of the years-long campaign led by World War II veteran Raymond Weeks, Amnesty Day became Veterans Day, a day to accommodate all veterans of all wars and eras, past, present, future, living, and dead. While the hope of the world without war faded and we continued to mourn our fallen, November 11th became a day of celebration and gratitude. And so, on the 69th anniversary of the Veterans Day, I am grateful to be here with you to honor all the veterans who came before us, those who stood alongside us, and those who will come after us. To those veterans here today, thank you. Your service and sacrifice represent the best of us and the best of America. We salute you and appreciate the great cost that often came with serving. Veterans and service members, if you're able, would you please raise your hand so we can recognize you? Can we give them all a round of applause, please? Let's also take a moment to acknowledge those families who have helped shoulder the weight of the war and the burdens of sacrifice. To the mothers, fathers, spouses, children of military men and women, thank you. Give them all a round of applause too, please. Veterans Day is a time when we remind our fellow Americans to stop and say thank you to those who served. Those simple words are important, but they are just the beginning. I encourage you, whether civilian or veteran, to dig deeper, ask questions, listen, take an interest in the experiences and sacrifices of those who allow us to live out our own stories in our country that is safe and free. Doing so is more powerful than you know. And so, on the 69th Veteran Day, I'm grateful to be here. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I went the same way, didn't I? Okay, thank you for taking the time to honor our veterans today. God bless you all, and bless our veterans, and bless the United States of America. Today we have 3 guest speakers. We have Mr. John Buckley, our mayor. We have Chief Ted Murray, and we have Chief Frank Bernowski. We'll start with John Buckley, our Hornell mayor.
Good morning, and thank you for being here with us today as we honor our wonderful veterans. We are here today to express our gratitude, to show our appreciation and honor those men and women who have served our country and are currently serving our country. These brave men and women of the United States military choose every day to dedicate their lives to service of our wonderful nation. They serve with selflessness, bravery, courage, protecting us and our nation and its liberties and its freedoms so enjoyed by all of us. Veterans Day is celebrated on the 11th day of the 11th month every year in the United States. It is a day set apart from every other day, a day to stop and reflect on the service and sacrifice of our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces, a day to recognize and to honor all military men and women, both past and present, who have served our country, who have given and continue to give so much of themselves so we can enjoy the freedoms and privileges so many of us take for granted in our daily lives. We owe an incredible debt of gratitude to not only our veterans, but also to their families who support them and sacrifice them all throughout the years so that we can live in a free and safe society. Today we pause not only to honor, but to celebrate America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. On this special day, let us remember our heroes and what they did throughout the many wars and conflicts throughout our nation's history, and continue to do to this very day. As you leave here today, I ask you to take a tour around the city and look up, and you'll see some of our local heroes displayed on the hometown hero banners throughout the city streets. Thank you for coming this morning. God bless you all. God bless our veterans, and God bless our country.
All right, thank you, Mayor Buckley. Next we will have Chief Ted Murray from the Hornell Police Department.
Thank you, Keith Cohn and Hornell VFW for putting together this very important ceremony, honoring our military veterans, both locally and nationally. With the ongoing war in Ukraine and now in Israel, we rely more heavily than ever on members of our armed forces. These members are citizens of our nation who have volunteered to give up their way of life, their freedoms, their luxuries, their safety, and some, their very lives, for a cause which provides freedom and the quality of life that we all enjoy daily. Arthur Ashe once said, "True heroism is remarkably sober, very undramatic. It is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost, but the urge to serve others at whatever cost." On a personal level, today brings back thoughts and memories of my dad, Ted Murray Sr., who served in the Army Air Corps. He was a pilot who flew B-17 bombers over the Pacific Ocean during World War II. It is also a day that I call and thank my sons who served in our military in areas throughout the world. I acknowledge and thank many of the young people today who are joining our armed forces. A young girl who grew up in my neighborhood, Isabel Barnes, joined the Army and just finished basic training. I congratulate her and her family for their sacrifices. She and many like her will make up the future of our military men and women that are essential to the security of our nation. Most importantly, I remind all that are here today of the ongoing needs of many veterans living amongst us that are suffering with mental health, PTSD, and substance abuse issues. We as a community and nation must do so much more to assist with their needs. We must invest in making medical care available to these unsung heroes. To all veterans that are here today, both in person and in spirit, I sincerely thank you for your service and all that you have given. On behalf of the men and women of the Hornell Police Department, may God bless you and be with you and your families. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief Murray. Next we have the Fire Chief, Frank Bronowski.
Thank you, Keith. Veterans Day. Today was originally declared Armistice Day 8 years after World War I to honor veterans of that war. Then in 1954, World War II, the Korean War, it was renamed Veterans Day to honor the veterans who served in America in war and defended democracy. So today we honor all of our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for freedom. Those men and women were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and answered it. They left their families, they left their homes, they left their lives, not for recognition or fame, or even honor that we bestow on them today. They fought to protect our country, to maintain our way of life. As we honor our veterans and remember their great deeds, let us also salute those who currently are fighting for our freedom. The war on terrorism has helped us all realize how truly unique the American way of life is. Our freedom we enjoy is extremely special, and that is why we must defend it. So now is the time not only to honor those who have fought and are fighting for our freedom, it is also the time for each of us to take part in protecting it. The defense of our freedom is not just for those in the military. Each of us share that same duty and responsibility. We don't have to join the Army, the Navy, or organizations to defend it actively. We can defend our way of life. We can protect our freedom simply by maintaining here in America what we want to preserve our freedoms. We must put them into action, for example, by voting in our elections, by speaking out against injustices. We must ensure that everybody feels the benefit of the freedom and the sacrifice that our veterans have made. And now we can do that by volunteering in our communities, teaching our children what it really means to be an American. Veterans Day isn't just for veterans, it's a day for all Americans to remember all the sacrifices that were made for this country. It is a day to remember why they were fighting, and the day of us to begin our journey in protecting our freedom and the freedom of many future generations ahead. Thank you for honoring our veterans today. Let us walk toward tomorrow, still honoring them by living in the freedom they protected for us.
Thank you, Chief. All right, now we'll have one of the VFW auxiliary members. She has a poem called Flanders Field.
In Flanders Field, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place. And in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw the torch, to be yours to hold high, to break faith with us who died. We shall not sleep, through poppies grow in Flanders field. Written by Colonel John McCrae.
Thank you, Doris. Okay, real quick, I just want to wish all you Marines from yesterday a happy Marine Corps birthday. Somebody's got to be part of the Navy. But yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that's here today, and I want to especially thank all the families, all of us that served. We had wives, we had kids, we had parents, brothers, sisters that you had to watch you deploy, watch you leave, and watch some of us not come back. I mean, there's people that I was stationed with that they should be here today, and maybe I shouldn't be, but it's a long story. But I just want to thank everybody for your support of the veterans around here. We got a very good city here and a very good veterans-based, the AMVETS, the Legion, and the VFW. If you're not a member, you probably ought to become a member, because that's where we hang out and we talk about our things, and it's a good time. We are going to now do the wreaths. First one is Gold Star Mother, Kim Smith. VFW Post 2250, Chaplain Jerry Farringer. Post 2250, Ladies Auxiliary, Treasurer Doris Miller. Representing the VFW War Dads, Cheryl Stewart. AMVETS Post 245 Commander John Foster. AMVETS Post 245, Ladies Auxiliary, President Joyce Turner. AMVET Riders, Paul Pokey Booth. Hornell American Legion, Post 440 Commander John Turner. Hornell American Legion, Post 440, Ladies Auxiliary, Elizabeth Harris.
Got the AMVET Sons on.
Hornell Sons of the American Legion, Commander Steve Coates. Hornell, son of AMVETS, Commander Keith Weitzel. Hornell American Legion Junior Girls, Evelyn Pelton. Marine Corps League Quartermaster Al Amuro. The City of Hornell, Officer Tim Thurston. Elks Lodge, Hornell, New York, Jeff Boone. AOH, Bob Cawley. Knights of Columbus, Ray Piccolo. Loyal Order of the Moose, Josh Lockwood. Masonic Temple, Charles Knighton. Hornell Association, Steve Conway. Representing the Hornell Boy Scouts, Graham Pelton. Thank you all very much. Each one of these wreaths represents our veterans. A lot of the veteran organizations bring wreaths, but look at the ones that ain't veterans organizations that still reach out to support and to sponsor and to show the veterans that they care. And I'd like to give everybody a round of applause, please.
From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And now Lucy Logan from the Hornell High School will provide taps.